Ramchandra Paudel of Nepali Congress and Subhash Chandra Nemwang of CPN-UML have filed their nominations for the upcoming presidential election that is scheduled for 9th of March. After filing their nominations, both the leaders have claimed of garnering national support. Although a ceremonial position, the hype surrounding the president's election has disintegrated the existing power share as 8 parties joined hands to support Nepali Congress candidate Paudel in the upcoming presidential election. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. NC candidate Ramchandra Paudel and UML candidate Subhash Nemwang competing in the presidential election. Paudel confident with the support of 8 parties. Nemwang believes Balkot agreement will be implemented. Relation between Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal and CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli becomes unstable as bitterness increases. Finance leaders of the world's biggest economies entangled in differences over the war in Ukraine and on resolving the debt burden of distressed developing nations. And Nepal thrashed Kuwait by 243 runs in the ICC Under-19 World Cup Asian qualifiers. Arjun Kumal and Dev Khanal shine with the bat. Akash Chand shines with the ball in the wind. Ramchandra Paudel of Nepali Congress and Subhash Chandra Nemwang of CPN-UML have filed their candidacies for the upcoming presidential election that is scheduled for 9th of March. After filing their nominations, both the leaders have claimed of garnering national support. Both the leaders had reached the office of the election officer in the premises of the Parliament building in New Baneshwar today. Paudel reached the office with leaders of 8 parties, including Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba. Deuba, Madhav Kumar Nepal, Narayan Kaji Shrestha, Ashok Kumar Rai and Abdul Khan proposed Paudel's candidacy, while he has the backing of Mahanta Thakur, Purna Bahadur Khadka, Ranjita Shrestha, Chitra Bahadur Kesi and Hitraj Pandey. After filing his candidacy, Paudel said that he would work to defend transformation and work for the benefit of the citizens. Likewise, from CPN-UML, KP Sharma Oli, Prithvi Subba Gurung, Gokarna Bishta, Raghubir Mahaset and Chabilal Bishakarma proposed the candidacy of Subhash Chandra Nemwang, while he has the backing of Yogesh Kumar Bhattrai, Top Bahadur Raimajee, Julie Kumari Mahato, Dil Kumari Raul Thapa and Aman Kumari Maske. Nemwang's remarks included assurances of working as the public's president. The voting for the presidential election will be held from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on 9th of March. A total of 882 voters, including 332 members of the federal parliament and 550 members of the provincial assembly of all the 7 provinces, will cast their ballot. The vote weight of the federal parliament will be 79 and that of the provincial assembly will be 48. Separate voting centers will be installed for the members of the federal parliament and members of the provincial assembly. The relation between CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli and Prime Minister and CPN Maoist Center chair Pushpa Kamal Dahal clearly exhibits that there aren't any permanent friends and foes in politics. The relation between Oli, who rose from the Jhapa rebellion, and Dahal, who came into power after the 10-year armed conflict, has been good and sour. Since the Constitution of Nepal was promulgated on 20th of September 2015, the relation between Oli and Dahal has been a roller coaster. Oli became the Prime Minister for the first time in 2015 with the support of Dahal. However, after 9 months, Dahal withdrew his support to Oli and became the Prime Minister with the backing of Nepali Congress. Dahal, who had supported Nepali Congress, again created an alliance with Oli in the 2017 local level and federal elections. After the elections, CPN-UML and Maoists united and created Nepal Communist Party, and both the leaders became the chairpersons of the party. However, the unification didn't last long and the party split on 7th of March 2021. For the next 17 months, the 2 leaders didn't back off from criticizing each other. However, Oli and Dahal surprised everyone on 25th of December last year as Oli supported Dahal to become the Prime Minister and both the leaders waved from the balcony of Oli's home in Balkot, Bhaktapur. Although an agreement was reached in Balkot between CPN-UML and CPN Maoist Center to take turns in holding the premiership and speaker posts and handing the presidential post to UML, the relation between Oli and Dahal started to sour after Nepali Congress extended its vote of confidence to Dahal. Oli also put pressure on Dahal to reinstate Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Ravi Lamichhane as the Home Minister. However, the Prime Minister refused to do so. Dahal also increased his inclination towards Nepali Congress. Finally, Dahal created a new alliance yesterday with 8 parties excluding CPN-UML. The effects of the change in political equation can be witnessed in the federal as well as the provincial government. Political stability was envisioned in the new constitution, citing that political instability in the past had affected the country's progress and good governance. Various laws were formulated accordingly. However, new political equations are being witnessed with the political parties' inclination towards temporary benefits, which have made national politics even more unstable. The 7-party alliance formed during the government formation got torn apart before the nominations for the presidential election were filed. Political developments were witnessed as parties that had joined hands for the provincial and parliamentary elections got divided. Another political instability has been witnessed in the country within 2 months of the formation of the current government. The scenario has been attributed to the party's inclination towards temporary benefits rather than principles, beliefs, and ideologies. The main agenda, while promulgating the Constitution in 2015, was political stability. The Constitution seems to have been promulgated hoping for stability, as it bars to propose a no-confidence motion for the Premier within 2 years of the term and prevents from easily dissolving the Parliament. However, the activities of the political parties do not seem to honor the constitutional sentiment. The political activities in the center are likely to send ripples to Province 1, Gandaki Province, and Lumini Province, which are led by CPN-UML. Issues could arise in other places as well amid failure to reach a consensus regarding power share. Prior to this, the Chief Minister of Sudur Paschim Province failed to clear the floor test and a new provincial government was formed. The change in political equation in the center will likely benefit the Nepali Congress-led government in the province. The political leadership does not want to remain out of the government, which has invited the current political scenario in the country. The political parties have been busy forming and breaking alliances amid failure to abide by their own principles, which has its effects on the economic development and prosperity of the nation. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces what they think about the disputes within the ruling coalition within 2 months' time of power sharing. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सत्ता प्राप्तिको लागि जुनसुकै पनि हतकण्डा अपनाउनु पर्छ भन्ने मान्यता बोकेको कारणले चाहिँ
सबै पद जति आफूले मात्रै ओगट्न खोज्ने अरूलाई चाहिँ दिनै नखोज्ने
फरक सिद्धान्तका दलहरू भएकोले
कसरी चाहिँ आफ्नो हातमा चाहिँ सत्ता शक्ति रहने मात्रै हो, अरू केही पनि हैन।
सत्ताको लोभ नै हो।
भागभण्डा चाहिँ नमिलेको कारणले गर्दा
कुर्सीको लागि सत्ताको लागि नै
भागभण्डा मिल्दैन अनि फेरि अर्को पछि आफ्नो सहमति गराउनको लागि आफ्नो सत्ता टिकाउनको लागि
विकास निर्माणै गर्दैनन्, खाली कुर्सीको तानातान मात्रै गर्छन् आफ्नो स्वार्थको लागि।
Welcome back. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what's your take on the government initiation at slashing the number of contract employees? 34% voted for A, trying to curb expenses, 49% voted for B, to recruit others, and 17% voted for C, administrative inconsistency. And here's today's question. What is the reason for the delay in rehabilitation of farmers that have been affected by epidemics in livestock? Your options are A, absence of farmer-friendly policy, B, lack of awareness of insurance, and C, inadequate budget. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international update. Finance leaders of the Group of 20 were entangled in differences today over the war in Ukraine and on resolving the debt burden of distressed developing nations. Finance chiefs of the world's largest economies strongly condemned Moscow for its war on Ukraine today, with only China and Russia itself declining to sign a joint statement. India, which as chair of the G20 economies was hosting a meeting in the city of Bengaluru, was reluctant to raise the issue of the war but Western nations insisted they could not back any outcome that did not include a condemnation. The lack of full consensus among G20 members meant that India resorted to issuing a chair's summary in which it simply summed up the 2 days of talks and noted the disagreements. The G20, formed over 2 decades to tackle economic crises, has increasingly struggled to reach consensus among members. Russia, a member of the G20 but not of the G7, refers to its actions in Ukraine as a special military operation and avoids calling it an invasion or war. India has kept a largely neutral stance, declining to blame Russia for the invasion, seeking a diplomatic solution and sharply boosting its purchases of Russian oil. China and India were among the nations that abstained on Thursday when UN voted overwhelmingly to demand Moscow withdraw its troops from Ukraine and stop fighting. Welcome back. It's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal thrashed Kuwait by a huge margin of 243 runs in the ICC Under-19 World Cup Asian qualifiers today. Arjun Kumal and skipper Dev Khanal shined with the bat, scoring centuries, while Akash Chand shined with the ball, grabbing 6 wickets. In the match played at the Malik Cricket Ground in Azman, UAE today, Nepal batted first after winning the toss and posted a massive total of 343 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in the allotted 50 overs. Nepal lost the wickets of opener Deepak Bohra and Akash Tripathi when 45 runs were on the board in the 10th over. But a 170-run partnership between opener Arjun Kumal and skipper Dev Khanal gave stability to the Nepal innings. Captain Dev Khanal top-scored for Nepal by scoring 125 runs off 117 balls with the help of 3 sixes and 9 fours. Arjun Kumal also contributed 108 runs off 112 balls, hitting 12 fours. Ash Shahil Kazmi and Henry Thomas were the leading wicket takers for Kuwait with 2 wickets each. Chasing a daunting victory target of 344 runs, Kuwait were bowled out for 100 runs in 30.5 overs. Jude Christopher Saldhana with 26 runs was the leading run scorer for Kuwait. Akash Chand was the pick of the Nepali bowlers, grabbing 6 wickets. Hemant Dhami and Dipesh Karnel also claimed 2 wickets each. This was Nepal's 2nd consecutive win in the ongoing ICC Under-19 World Cup Asian qualifiers in UAE. Nepal had thumped Singapore by 96 runs yesterday. Nepal will now clash against Hong Kong on Monday. And it's time now for the weather update. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.